Hey Libra, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm here to do your June 2017 monthly reading. I hurt my hand, so I'm going to, instead of shuffling, I'm just going to pick the cards. How many cards am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm going to do a modified Celtic cross this month. Okay, this card sort of flipped out, so this is the Page of Swords. So I'm going to put this as an underlying issue. And the Page of Swords comes out when it's about messages, it's communication, it's our communicating our thoughts. And so communication is going to be highlighted this month, something that you need to, it doesn't mean like, oh, be careful how you communicate, but trying to communicate as effectively as possible and delivering news and messages and receiving news and messages and things like that is something that there may be more of than usual for the month of June for your sign. The focus card here is the Five of Wands. And this is just saying that there's a lot of energy going on. And when you have a lot of energy and a lot of people involved in a situation, you know, things can heat up. You know, you have five wands of fire, really, if you think about it. So you can have competing demands and a lot of people who are passionate about something and they all have their ideas of how it can go. And so it can be great if everyone's completely on the same page, but that's pretty unlikely. But there can be some clashes or competition or even conflict because of having several people in a situation that all are very passionate about what's going on. So that again says, hey, just make sure you're seeking to understand and that you're communicating clearly this month. So you don't add any fuel to the fire. Doesn't mean you can't express your desires and your thoughts and ideas by any means. It just says to be careful how you do it and do it as constructively and succinctly as possible. It's crossed by this Eight of Pentacles. And so it is saying you're working towards something that you've devoted a lot of time and thought and effort and energy towards. It's not something, you have a lot of experience. You have a lot to offer this situation. So don't allow people that are louder or more brazen to overshadow you, or you need to make sure you're heard this month. And again, so Page of Swords, writing a nice succinct email, making a short presentation, a PowerPoint, or just bullet points for yourself, a quick list of points that are important to make. And so just be prepared and be organized, because you really have the most experience in the situation that you're bringing to the table. So don't, just because someone talks a big game, don't be intimidated and don't think they know what the hell they're talking about because just because they're more brazen or loud or they talk like they know what they're doing. It doesn't necessarily mean they know what they're doing. So if you're thinking something in your head doesn't really add up, you're right. Trust yourself, trust your experience, and people are going to be grateful that they have your input, even if you feel like you're being overshadowed. And the focus in the recent past was the Three of Pentacles. So again, these two together, these are the most hardest working cards in the deck. This is dedication, spending a lot of time and focus and energy. And these are things that you've worked on for a long time. They're not something you just fell into or landed on your lap. You've put a tremendous amount of time and effort into the work and where you've gotten in some aspect of your life. So you've failed before. You've practiced and practiced, and practice makes perfect. So because of that, your experience is invaluable, because unless you really go through what you've gone through, you can't truly understand. Another person just coming in from the outside can't truly understand the complexity and the depth of the situation and what's going on there. So yeah, I feel like a lot of this is the workplace. Maybe there's been a lot of conflict and change going on, and you've just been sort of, it's like, if someone just asked me, I have some really practical good ideas about how to fix it, but I'm just sitting here, and not able to affect any change. And it can be super frustrating. But it's times like these in our lives when there's a lot of going on, a lot of energy, a lot of people saying they know what to do and trying to overpower other people, where you can sort of jump in the fight, or you can sort of step back and observe and realize there may be another opportunity. There may be another way to go about this, that people are so busy declaring what's right and saying a lot of what to do, but not really doing much. There's a lot more talking than doing going on. Whereas you may step back and sit down and write a whole plan, like a detailed plan, instead of just saying, we have to do things differently and we have to do, and sort of generalize chest bravado and chest beating. And you're going to actually come up with a detail. I mean, that's what this is, a detailed plan of how everyone can move forward. And there is a decision coming up that you're going to have to make. Oh, my card's already chipped up a little bit. This is like, where do I want to expend my energy? You may be looking for a new job because you're frustrated with this situation. And like, I have talents, and if they're not going to be used effectively where I am, then I may look for other opportunities. So maybe you've put your resume out there, you put yourself out there, and maybe you'll get a new job, and then offer, or someone will come to you with an offer in the midst of all of this, and you'll have to really figure out, like, is it worth continuing to put my energy into that situation, or would it be better to go with a new opportunity? Or maybe they come to you with a new job within this same area that could, that it's like they realize what you have to offer and maybe even make a position for you. And then you have to figure out, what am I going to do here? So where do I want to invest? Where do you want to invest your energy? Where do you want to go from here? And what is the best place to put all this hard work that you're very capable of and have done? Where do you want to continue to put it into a conflict situation, or maybe look for other opportunities? So the overall outcome cards are the Queen of Wands, Yeah, the fire sign. So she is unwavering. She sets her sight on a goal, and you can see she's sort of looking off into the future. And a little bit of this, I mean, she can handle this because this is her element. She's like, all this conflict or these people competing and beating their chests and talking all big, that's not going to deter her. She'll just roll her eyes. She's like, I can do it too. I can give it right back to you. But I'm going to be more clever about it. And I'm not going to get caught up in the minutia and forget the end game and forget the final goal and where we're trying to go. So if other people want to waste all sorts of time and energy fighting over every little detail, it's like you see the big picture, the long goal, and you're not going to let your enthusiasm be extinguished. But you're going to be smart about it. You're going to be smart about where is the right place to put your energy. Oh, the Six of Swords. So some of you will be leaving. Some of you will be like, I'm talented and I have all this experience and it's wasted here. These people are just chasing their tails and not being productive, and I'm going to move on from this situation. I've worked too hard and I have too much talent and experience to waste in a situation where they just can't get out of their own way and don't realize my talent and my worth and how meticulous I am and what a good job I do. And I just have no desire to keep my energy in this mentally exhausting situation anymore. So new opportunities will be coming in. So put your resume out there, put yourself out there, talk to people, put your feelers out there. Again, there might be an opportunity from this situation. Maybe you make a connection with someone else, or people see, maybe you're able to stay above the fray, to stay positive, to just do the best you can and grin and bear it. And someone's going to see that, why all these other people are bickering and fighting, you're actually behind the scenes still keeping everything going and getting the work done. I mean, this could not only be in a workplace, this could be in a family situation. It's like, I'm the one that's still keeping things going, getting things done, making things happen. And I'm not going to get caught up in bullshit and arguments and conflicts that really aren't effective and constructive and aren't moving a situation forward in any way. It's just stalling things, and people are just chasing their tail and just going around and around in circles, and it's not productive. Some of it could be like a relationship where you are the one, maybe your spouse is just, or your significant other is just like a complainer, likes to nitpick and argue every little detail. Meanwhile, you're like actually getting the volume of things done and you're kind of sick of it. And maybe you're like, it's time to make a decision. Like, I'm ready to be done with this. I want a partner. I don't want someone who just bitches and moans while I make everything happen. I take care of the kids, the house, the everything, pay all the bills, make sure that oil gets changed, and they're just always having some issue. Like, I don't need that exhaustion. It's like, where is there a lot of unproductive energy going on in your life? And you're going to get away from that because you don't need that. That's not how you roll. You don't waste energy. You're very efficient and productive. And you definitely have your sights set on something new in some area of your life. And you're realizing in order to fulfill that, you need to leave some situations behind. You need to use your energy wisely, and you need to not allow yourself to get distracted and off course by other people's issues and crap and bullshit and things like that, and pettiness. You could be moved up shift to management. If you have a lot of experience, even if you've never been a manager before, don't be afraid to put your resume out for some leadership roles. And some of you are going to move out on your own. Go it. Oh, I can't talk. Go it on your own. Do it on your own because you feel like you have been anyway, and it's more of exhausting and a distraction to be partnered or have to deal with someone. Like almost you have to spend so much energy trying to get them to do their work, and you're pretty much doing it anyway. It would just be much less exhausting to just do it by yourself. And so you're going to relieve yourself of those types of exhausting distractions and blockages and people who are impeding you just because that's just their issue. They just like to be miserable and waste their energy, and you just don't have time for that anymore. Okay, that's awesome. Good for you. So have a great month, and I'll see you at the next reading. Take care.